And sorry, Israel assesses that, a famine is not imminent, but your own assessment is that we are likely headed towards a famine, no matter how we look at the numbers of what's getting in, the UN count or the Israeli count, the facts on the ground are bad enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my assessment. It's the assessment of the humanitarian organizations and their workers who are risking their lives in order to actually deliver aid, as well as testimonies from families who are not able to get food, people using bird seed as food, at least 27 children who were reported to have died of malnutrition. Human Rights Watch has documented children wasting away, infants dying of dehydration. So the situation is quite dire. The Israeli government knows that, and the Israeli government has been occupying Gaza since 1967. They know exactly what's going on there. They know how much food is required. They've calculated the number of calories that people in Gaza need in order to survive, and they know how to get enough food in there. The the International Court of Justice's order was that the Israeli government needs to ensure that adequate food gets in, not try, ensure. The Israeli government knows how to do that. And I agree that they might have been a little bit influenced by words from President Biden, but the United States could do more than words. They could suspend arms transfers to the Israeli military until such time as the Israeli military complies with international law. That would be terrifying. That would lead to a change in policy because I have not seen a decision by the Israeli government to end the policy of starvation as a weapon of war. They know what to do. They can flood Gaza with aid. They can they can use their troops in northern Gaza to deliver the aid because they have dismantled the government in northern Gaza. There's no functioning government. And notably, in the International Court of Justice's opinion, the only Israeli judge, the ad hoc judge who was appointed to the panel, signed on to the provisional order that ordered the Israeli military to ensure that enough aid reached Gaza. Ensure is the obligation of an occupying power who is in control and has the ability and the obligation to make sure the food gets to hungry people. And there's two kinds of obligations. So one obligation is to facilitate the delivery of humanitarian aid by others. So that means facilitating what the UN and other humanitarian organizations are doing, including UNRWA. And there, what I would say is that the actions that Israel has taken to try to defund UNRWA, to try to dismantle UNRWA, have been incredibly detrimental. If you want to ensure the humanitarian aid gets in, you probably shouldn't pressure foreign governments to stop funding the single largest organization delivering humanitarian aid in Gaza, playing a critical role. And based on what the UN investigation has determined is evidence that has not materialized regarding involvement in the October 7th attacks. But beyond that, and in addition, the Israeli government has an obligation to supply the aid itself. They've done that in very limited ways. They've brought fuel to Shifa Hospital. They've done it in limited ways. They need to do it in a much more significant way. And that doesn't contradict their obligation to cooperate with the UN to let the UN deliver the aid. But when you bomb humanitarian convoys, when you refuse to allow them to travel, or you delay them at checkpoints, or you do nothing to try to pave the road so they can actually get through, that's not facilitating aid. And again, like the Israeli government knows how to do this. This is the fifth war in Gaza that I've documented as a human rights activist. In every previous war, the Israeli government has never stopped drinking water from entering Gaza. They have never cut off humanitarian aid and proudly declared that they were doing so. This is a problem of political will.